Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss about placenta previa. There are various theories for the development of placenta previa. First is the dropping down theory. Second is defective deciduoabissalis, so there is implantation defect. Third is hyperplacentosis, that means there is a large size placenta like in twin pregnancy diabetic. It occupies the large size and that is why it comes down. Previous lower cesarean section. There is a scar in the uterus on the anterior side. So if there is an anterior placenta, there are possibility of uh, placenta previa. Then uterine anomalies predisposed to the placenta previa. Other theories are persistence of chorionic levi that is present in the embryonic phase intrauterine development, placenta and cord anomalies that predisposes to placenta previa, and smoking and drug abuse, especially the cocaine, which predisposes to the placenta previa. The classification of placenta previa by USG. In normal placenta, it is situated at more than 5 centimeters away from the internal os. That is the normal situation. When the placenta is between 2 centimeter to 5 centimeter from internal os, it is called as low-lying placenta. And when the placental edge is less than 2 centimeter from the internal os, then it is called as placenta previa. In this, you see different types of placenta previa. The first one is normal location of the placenta, which is fundal in location. Second diagram shows low implantation. Third one, can you see there is some difference that is between 2 to 5 centimeter from the internal os. This is partial placenta previa and this is total placenta previa. The placenta is occupying the completely over the internal os. So this is total placenta previa. Partial placenta, only the part of the placenta is on the near to the os. Now let us understand the types of placenta previa. Type 1 or grade 1 is the placenta in the lower segment, but lower edge is not reaching to the internal os. Type 2 or grade 2 is marginal placenta, placenta in the lower segment, the lower edge reaching to the internal os, but not covering the complete internal os. Grade 3 is partial or incomplete placenta previa. Placenta is in the lower segment. Lower edge is partially covering the internal os, but not covers the internal os on full dilatation. So this is the difference between part type 2 and type 3, that though it is also covering partially the internal os, but on full dilatation, it doesn't cover the os. Grade 4 or type 4 is complete placenta previa. Placenta is in the lower segment again, completely covering the internal os on full dilatation of the cervix also. The placenta previa can be further classified into according to the severity. The type 1 and type 2 anterior are the minor degree of placenta previa. Type 2 posterior, type 3 and type 4 are classified as major degree of placenta previa. Type 2 posterior is considered as dangerous type of placenta previa for the following reasons. It overlies the sacral promontory, thus reduces the anteroposterior diameter of inlet by 2.5 centimeter. It makes the engagement of the presenting part difficult, being in the posterior location, and fetal hypoxia and more chance of placental compression if vaginal delivery is allowed in type 2 posterior. Therefore, in type 2 posterior, cesarean section is recommended and it is classified as major variety of placenta previa. Now, understanding the clinical features of placenta previa, its symptoms are painless profuse vaginal bleeding. The bleeding is recurrent, that means it happens often, and it is causeless. There is no history of any trauma, coitus, or any labor onset to lead to the bleeding. So, a painless, causeless, recurrent bleeding is suggestive of placenta previa. There is more bleeding in type 2 and type 3 as compared to type 4. The reason is there is differential contraction of the upper and the lower uterine segment in type 2 and type 3 variety of placenta previa. Now coming to the signs of bleeding in the placenta previa. Pallor is present, which is in proportion to the vaginal bleeding. The uterus is relaxed and it corresponds to the period of gestation. Malpresentations are very common, like breech transfers and unstable lie, because the lower segment is occupied by the placenta. So these malpresentations occur. Then you must know Stalworthy sign. What is Stalworthy sign? Fetal bradycardia on pressing the head down in pelvis, and it recovers on release of the pressure. This is because of the compression of the placenta by the fetal head, and this is specific of placenta posterior type 2. So Stalworthy sign is positive in placenta posterior type 2 variety, which is a major degree of placenta previa. Now coming to the examination, on per speculum examination, that is vulval inspection, fresh bleeding is there. It is red in color. It is because of the separation of the placenta and from the uterine wall and bleeding from the lower uterine sinuses. When a patient of bleeding PV comes to you in the late term pregnancy, or then you must have high index of suspicion. If there is malpresentation, it can be possibly because of the placenta previa. The floating unengaged head presenting part can be because of placenta. A gentle per speculum examination can be done after 24 to 48 hours. So one must refrain from doing any vaginal examination if there is any history of bleeding PV in a pregnant woman in the late term pregnancy. Then try to differentiate with other causes, local origin causes of bleeding PV, like varicose veins, any polyps, cervical erosions. And examination should be preferably be done in the double setting. The pervaginal examination is absolutely contraindicated because any finger manipulation can lead to torrential hemorrhage. That means huge amount of bleeding, and patient can even die of that hemorrhage. So vaginal examination is absolutely contraindicated in placenta previa or any bleeding PV cases. If at all PV is to be done, it is to be done in the double setup, that is performed in the OT, keeping all the arrangements for cesarean section ready.